Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to take a look at Replit. They've just introduced their new agent, Agent 3, and it looks a lot more powerful and a lot better than the previous Replit agents. So as you can see, it's new, introducing Agent 3, Autonomy for All. So as app testing, it checks using a web browser to test buttons, forms, links, and APIs. And this is really useful. It saves you the manual labor and task of having to test your app yourself. Agents and automations, which is in beta here, can build full flows or bots just using plain English. Like imagine something similar to Zapier, Make, or NAN. And it can run by itself up to 200 minutes, which is really nice, especially if you want to leave your device on and let it build in the background as well. So here you see we've got different types of use cases that we can build. We can build a web app, data app, 3D game, general, if you just want to build something that's not one of these, and agents and automations, which is in beta. So I've got my prompt now as well. I'm just going to paste it. So here's a prompt. So it's a simple travel itinerary generator web app. The user should enter a destination, travel dates, and interests. When they submit, the app should generate a 5-day itinerary, a packing list, and the budget, then display it on a results page. Now you can also, as with many builders, attach files and references as well. And you can also choose your own theme. And if you click on Manage Themes, you can modify and create your own theme as well, which is really useful. And actually, what's interesting about this theme or design system generator compared to other AI tools is that you can actually customize the typography. Normally, most of the other AI tools allow you to change the colors and the spacing, but not the typography. So it's really handy and useful that you can change the typography. And I'm going to choose here plus Jakarta Sans. And we're actually going to modify the existing quadratic theme. So I'm just going to change this up a bit. So I think escape here. I think I'm going to change this to a darkish blue. I think something like this. So I've modified the theme a little bit. So I'm going to select it here in the home page, and we're going to press this button here, which actually improves your prompt, which is really useful, especially if you don't know what to say or your prompt is quite brief and lacks detail. Using this button can really help to enhance your prompt. So let's see what it comes up with when it loads. So I've got the enhanced prompt, and now it's changed it to a web-based travel itinerary generator that creates personalized 5-day trip plans based on user inputs, including destination, travel dates, interests, complete packaging suggestions, budget estimates, and it has a core features list here. It's got visual references and a style guide. However, we've already got our auto theme here, so I'll actually just remove these colors and we can keep the rest. And then I'm going to click on Start Chat. And now it's opening the app. And we're in the planning phase, which is really useful. So it's really important before you start building with AI that you really have a comprehensive plan, something that you can iterate and refine, whether that be with an AI chat or an interface like this, or with a simple PRD that you've made. Something that will really guide and put guardrails for the AI to follow. If you don't do this, then you could end up generating something that's broken or something that doesn't match with what you actually want to build. So it's come back to me and it says I will include the following features: interactive input form with destination search, blah blah blah, AI powered 5-day itinerary, directives and recommendations using OpenAI, personalized packing list generator based on destination climate activities, budget breakdown display. So this, I'm actually going to change this because I don't want to use OpenAI. So let me use an open router API key. Let's see what it says. So now it's searching for documentation or integrations, and it says it doesn't seem to appear to be a specific OpenRouter integration available. I'll update the plan to use OpenRouter with manual API key configuration. The application will be designed to work with OpenRouter's API. Let's change it now. So we've got OpenRouter, which is perfect. And click on build the entire app, or we can click on start with design. So let's actually start with design so we can see how it looks before we actually build the actual functionality. This is again really useful. I know a lot of people will say build the app first and then build the visual interface or the UI. But I feel like when you're building with AI, it's really important to get the design nailed on because it'll be a lot more difficult to change after you've built the functionality. So let's click on this, start with design. It says 5 to 10 minutes. So Replit is now building out the design. It says preview will be available soon. And it's just setting up all the classes, all the CSS and Tailwind. So it can come back to me with design that's on brand with our use case and our design theme that we made and chose. Okay, Replit is finished designing it. It looks decent. It looks better than most vibe coded apps because we added our custom styling. But the only issue is that it's still recognizing OpenAI API key. So we're going to have to try and change that. I don't want to use OpenAI. I want to use OpenRouter for my API key. Let me start by implementing the backend API integration with OpenRouter to generate real personalized itineraries. Okay. Need to check for OpenAI key and set up the backend infrastructure. Okay, so now we can input our API key. But before we do that, I'm going to say, before I input my OpenRouter API key, make sure you only use this model. I'm going to put model ID, and I'm going to paste the model ID of the model I want to use from OpenRouter, and it's just configuring the use of this specific model in the backend. And while we're waiting for that, let's check out this page, which is actually about inputting our trip details. Looks good. I've noticed now they didn't actually use our design theme completely. It looks like it's used its own. I mean, it still looks good, but I'd have preferred if it actually used our own completely. I know we had some blue colors in there as well and some other colors, but it still looks pretty decent, especially compared to other AI generated designs. So the Replit agent was actually taking its time and making sure it knew how to use the OpenRouter API integration and making sure it actually works with the front end. So now I've pasted my key in and I'm going to click on continue. As you can see, it said it took 5 minutes just to do that, but it's really helpful that I did that to make sure it actually works properly. I think this would have been a lot faster if I just used an OpenAI API key or a Gemini API key, but the benefit of OpenRouter is that you can find some really good free models that you can use and you won't get billed or charged or use up any credits using them. Okay, and now it's saying the application is running successfully. Now I'm going to test the complete trip generation functionality with the real OpenRouter API to make sure everything works end to end. This is really useful. It saves you from getting frustrated when your app is broken or doesn't work. And then you're like, oh, this AI is so bad. Oh, why did I spend my money on it? This is really, really, really good tool and feature. Now the agent is testing it using like a dummy browser that you can see in here in the preview. And it says I've clicked the start planning your trip button, and now I'm looking for the trip planning form with all the input fields and checkboxes to appear. It's filling out the form, it's giving me the details as well. This is a really handy tool as well. This is similar to something I've seen in an AI agent called Manus, where they have a browser on the side as well. So it's really nice that it's being implemented into more AI building tools such as Replit as well. And a benefit of Replit, they probably noticed by now, is it has its own backend and storage and secret storage. And you can also set up authentication, and there's a load of integrations that you can use as well, which is really useful, especially compared to other AI tools, some of which you might have to connect to Supabase or Clerk to integrate backend and authentication. So it's really useful that it's an all in one solution. It saves you from having to pay for extra subscriptions or just having a lot of different apps open to make your product work. So Replit is finished, and it said it took about 9 minutes of work, and it's just going through auto fixing a lot of the bugs that were popping up. And let's see if this works now. So let's say we want to go to, say, Paris just for a test, and then start date here, end date, got 10 days, food, dining, and maximum update that expected. So we got a little bug. So I need to fix this. I'm going to screenshot this, and I'm going to give it back to Replit and see what it says. So I've had to go back and forth a little bit. I've actually changed the Open Router API input to a Google Gemini input. So I'm using the Gemini API key instead. I think it's a lot more stable and it has slightly higher rate limits. And I've entered an itinerary for Paris and it's working now, as you can see. So we have a day one, we have a different day plan of activities, and it shows the prices and it shows the different topics as well, or the categories. We have day two, but it has noticed that it's not showing the packing list like it's supposed to, which is really useful actually. It catches itself when it's like missed a step or does something wrong, and then it can continue, you can prompt it to improve and fix the things that it needs to. But unfortunately, I've hit the rate limit, which is actually just in time for this working. But I'm impressed that Replit is taking its time, it's going through, it's making sure things work before it comes back to you. Before I end the video, let's look at the other features that Replit has. So if you click on New tab, you can see all the different things and features that Replit has. We have integrations, database, app storage, authentication, security, secrets, everything you need to build a successful app, really. And another thing I like about Replit is that you can input existing code bases from GitHub. So if you use another AI builder and sync to GitHub, you can then use that code from GitHub to continue building your app into Replit. But that was a quick demonstration of Replit's new Agent 3 and its features. I like how it plans, how it takes its time. Some people might not like this, they might want to be a little bit quicker, but at the end, we've got something that works. We just need to iterate and continue to build out the functionality. So, guys, if you like the video, please leave a like, subscribe for more videos, more vibe coding videos, more videos showing how you can build apps and integrate these new AI tools into your processes. And if you want to see more Replit content, please let me know in the comment section down below. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.